Assalamu alaikum, students. How are you all? Hope you all are very good, safe, healthy at your home. This is your science teacher. Today we are entering into our third chapter, that is animals and their food. Let us see what are the contents and what are the learning outcomes of this lesson. Explain the food habits of different animals. Classify the organisms based on their food habits. Differentiate modes of getting food by different animals. Relate different phenomena based on adaptation of animals with their food habits. Explain the interrelation of plants and animals through food chain and food web. Let us enter into the lesson. Now, here you are seeing herbivores. What do you mean by herbivores? The animals that depend only on plants for their food are called as herbivores. For example, zebra, giraffe, elephant, cow, goat, sheep, etc. These are called as herbivores. What do you mean by carnivores? The animals that depend only on animals for their food are called as carnivores. Lion, tiger, badger, wolf, hyena, lynx, cougar. These are some of the examples of carnivores. What do you mean by omnivores? The animals that depend on both plants and also animals for their food are called as omnivores. Human beings, chimpanzee, dog, rat, monkey, brown bear, badger, civet, skunk, squirrel, hen, crow, wild bear. These are some of the examples of omnivores. Next, you are seeing frugivorous animals. What do you mean by this frugivorous? The animals that feed mostly on raw fruits, succulent fruits like vegetables, roots, shoots, nuts, and seeds. And frugivore can be any type of herbivore or omnivore, where fruit is a preferred food type. These are frugivorous animals. Plants and animals are the main source of food in our surroundings. Like us, animals also depend on these sources for food. Every animal has its own style of getting food. They track down food, they collect food, they grab food, or they hunt food, and then they use various parts of their body to take food into the mouth finally. Most animals feed regularly, but first they must trace out the food. To do this, they use a wide range of senses: smell, sight, hearing, taste, and touch. Some animals rely more on one sense than the other, and it can be therefore be highly developed in them. Many animals have specialized parts of the body such as mouth, hands, or feet that help them to collect their food most efficiently. Now, if you see here, you're seeing here dog and frog feeding. Here, the sense that is used by dog is smell, and we see sense of smell is more developed in dogs. So the body parts that are used in taking food by the dog is its sharp teeth and tongue. Now if you see frog it is using its long sticky stretchable tongue to take the food inside. Here butterfly, spider and lizard. See, a butterfly uses a proboscis to take in food. It feed on liquids and nectar of flowers. And here spider is using its web to catch insects, whereas lizard is using its vision, smell, sense organs like eye and nose are used, and lizard is using its tongue to catch food. If you see cow, goat, these are grazing. How? What are the parts that are used by a cow? Means its teeth, jaws, tongue. It is using, and it is using senses like vision and touch. Goat also using its vision and touch. And I see about pond skaters. If you see, if you go near a pond, observe the pond skaters there. Observe how quickly they move from one side of the pond to the other to catch an insect that falls in water. Pond skaters detect ripples produced in water by any other insect trapped on the water surface. They compare the ripples on the opposite side of the pond caused by the legs of the insect struggling to move out. So, in detail, we will see about animals and their food in our next session. Up to that, Allah Hafiz.